everybody. Dr. Phil Pritting here, chiropractor, craniosacral therapist, and foundation training instructor at Integrative Wellness Group. This Facebook Live is piggybacking on a podcast I did this week about the thoracic spine, the shoulders, rib cage, and breathing. So I'd like to show some visual way of how we can strengthen this aspect of our body in multiple ways and give you some tools that you can apply in everyday life to keep our body healthy and thriving. So the first exercise I will share with you is based off of foundation training. This is called decompression breathing. The first thing we'll do is we're going to just bring the feet together. Big toes touch, heels about an inch or so apart. From here, we're going to use what's called measuring sticks. So the thumb and the little finger are spreading wide away from each other. And we're going to place the thumb right at the base of the rib cage, right where the diaphragm sits. And we're going to place the thumbs right at the waistline. You can see my shoulders are nice and broad. My elbows have a slight bend. And we're allowing the space between our organs, our organ system, our liver, gallbladder, pancreas, stomach, intestines. We're keeping that space open so we can keep that organ system healthy. As we're opening up that torso space, we're lengthening the back of the neck, and we're focusing our breath into our rib cage, into the space right at the clavicle or the collarbone area, down to where our thumbs are. And we are working to open that space in 360 degree, I guess that would be a 360 degree shape. So outwards, front, back, and then up and down. Like a balloon, we're trying to expand that space on the inhale. As we exhale, we're trying to draw the abdominal musculature, that corset, trying to draw that tension inward so that we hold the rib cage up and elevated. And we're breathing in and out of the nose, staying nice and long, trying to expand all parts of the rib cage, from the collarbone down to the bottom part of our ribs where our thumbs are. And just spend a few breaths here. Try to do at least 6 quality breaths. Expanding and elevating, allowing our shoulders to broaden. We're not shrugging the shoulders up to the ears. We're keeping them nice and broad and pulled down. We're pulling our toes towards each other. Just spend a few moments opening up any tension that we have in the thoracic spine. We're decompressing the discs. We're lengthening the rib cage, the intercostals. We're opening up the rib cage. We're lengthening the torso. And we're building healthy movement patterns, healthy proper postural patterns here. From here, we can open up into a long wing. So we broaden our shoulders. We open up the front of our shoulders, often the pectoral muscles, so the shoulders that connect to the sternum of the breastbone and come out to the edge of the shoulders often get shortened and rounded. So we're opening up that space. And as you can see, my thumbs are opening and spiraling outward. And we're spreading the fingertips really wide. We're opening up the brachial plexus, so the nerve supply that comes out of the neck through this upper shoulder area down into the hands. We're connecting our breath, our rib cage, into our shoulders. And we're opening up here. We're unwinding ourselves, lengthening ourselves, using gravity as our friend. Take a few breaths here. As you can see, with each inhale, my torso, my rib cage is opening and opening and opening and expanding, 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 expanding as much as we can. Unwinding any tension that we have in our rib cage and in our thoracic spine. From here we can shake that off. The next thing I'll show you, we'll use a prop here. I'll use the chair. You can find a chair or a table. We're going to get nice and wide. We're going to work to open up. We're going to spiral our rib cage, our thoracic spine. We're going to work to open up that tension, but also keep our body strong and supported. So we're going to get into a nice wide stance. We're going to hinge our hips back. If you'd like to go back to a previous Facebook Live, I show all about hip hinging. So you're going to hip hinge, pull the hips back. We're going to bring the hands out in front of us, kind of propping ourselves here. You can see I'm drawing the chin back. I'm keeping the thoracic spine nice and open. There still will be a curve, but we're opening up that space. And from here, we're keeping our weight back, our chest nice and tall and long, low back is supported, and we're just going to rotate out to the left to start. Now just pulling straight out into a nice gentle windmill, and then you're just going to rotate the head, hinging the hips back. There you go, opening way up. And I'm really keeping the torso long and tall. Just opening up that space, trying to create as much space from the finger here and the finger up top. Opening that up, opening up the rib cage here, opening up the organs, pancreas, spleen, opening up that space, keeping this nice and long. And just breathe into the armpit area. Nice, gentle windmill. Breathe out, lifting out, creating as much space, opening up the shoulders here. We'll come back and we'll rotate the other way. Nice and slow, straight out, hinging the hips back. And this point and this point are going away from each other. From this side, we're opening up the liver, gallbladder, spiraling that tension outward, keeping the torso long. We're not flexing here. We're staying nice and tall and upright as we rotate. We're rotating through the thoracic spine, not the low back, through this thoracic spine, through the rib cage. Unwind that tissue. Slowly come back. Bring the hands to the knees, slide the hands up. Perfect. So those are two foundation training principles that work into the rib cage and work into rotating tense tissue through the rib cage, unwinding the organs. We want to spiral and rotate in this area. From here, we'll continue that little bit of rotation. I have here, it's called an align band, and it's just a nice resistance band that you can use. You can use one of these, or you can even just use a towel. But we're going to bring this up overhead. Scoot back a little bit here. So I'm gripping. Actually, I'm just going to grip with the thumbs. We're going to bring it up overhead. You're going to get nice and wide. Nice overhead. Keeping the shoulders pulled down and back. Slight bend in the elbows. And we're just going to rotate here, left and right. In the Kundalini world, you can do some breath work in this position. So as we rotate to the left, we're going to take an inhale. So breathing in. Exhale to the right. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale left. Exhale right. You come down to the knees. If you'd like to do that, inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale left. Exhale right. I'm going to bring the hands down. Just going to re-grip here. So again, nice and wide. Bringing, tugging out, I'm pulling outward. Lifting up. Opening up that upper rib cage area where the armpits are. Opening up that space. Breathing left. Keeping the inner thighs locked in. Exhaling right. Inhale left, exhale right. Inhale left, exhale right. And you can start doing so you can do that standing, you can do it on your knees if that's comfortable, or you can get to a sitting position here, or easy position or lotus position. And again, rotating. And this really works the rib cage. We're keeping our shoulders nice and strong. We're keeping our rotator cuff healthy. And we really feel where our natural range of motion lives. And we just work to unwind, rotate, keep the torso tall. Good. Keeping the chest tall. Heart space open. Good. Perfect. From here, I'll show you some rotator cuffs. So we'll work on all the rotator cuffs here. First one, arms come straight out. So often you'll find more broad arms. Bringing the arms nice and wide and reaching out is really beneficial to keeping those stabilizer muscles, the rotator cuffs, to hold our shoulder joint where they need to be. And these are endurance muscles. We want these muscles to be firing to support, not to do lots of huge motions. So we want to just keep some stability and allow it to work the shoulder joint the way it needs to. So hands come out. I like to pretend like I'm holding a ball, holding a sphere, keeps tension in the wrists. We're just going to go thumbs down, fingers up, thumbs down, little fingers up, thumbs down, little fingers up, thumbs down, little fingers up. Good. Just feeling the whole shoulder joint, front and back. And eventually you'll get nice smooth motions. It might be a little bit like irregular, not as smooth, a little jerky. That's okay. You're building that stability, neuromotor patterns here. Good. From here, you can go 45 degrees, palms forward, palms down, palms forward, palms down, palms forward, palms down. You might feel that in the back of the shoulder blade, subscapularis. Good. Coming in here, pulling in, and opening up. Pulling in, opening up, pulling in. And again, you can do that decompression breathing. So you're here, opening up. Teres minor. Really feeling the back of the shoulders here. Then from here, hands come out and then slightly outward. You're just lifting up and away. And you might feel this in the top part of the shoulder blade. So you're holding, lifting up and away at an angle. Perfect. Stay nice and tall while we do this. And you'll feel that burn. That's what you're trying to build. You're trying to build that endurance. Do a couple holds. And relax out of that. The next one will be another Kundalini breath work here. So we'll go into easy pose, lotus position, and we're gonna cup the knuckles down into the palms here. We're gonna reach up and away. And we're gonna do some quick breaths in and out the nose. Try and expand the torso up and down. And try to keep those hands elevated and lifted as high as you can. Breath of fire is what you can call it. So opening that torso space, this whole area here. Just inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Keeping the neck lifted. work your way into breaths, but ideally you want to do 3 minutes of those. That's kind of like the little magic number to start out. You can work your way up to more, but keeping that lifted, hands open, wrists, you're opening up all that space for the nerves, all this often compressed tissue when we're sitting in front of the computer or the phones, everything's rounded. We got to open that up and lift, open this center up. We're working the heart space energetically, we're working the solar plexus energetically. So self-worth, love, you can connect into those mantras as you're working through the thoracic spine, through the shoulders. So that could be really beneficial. There's a nice little variety there that you can tap into. The Wim Hof breathing I mentioned in the podcast. There's a lot of great information out there on YouTube, or you can go to the website on the research. There's often like little guided meditations on there. But the idea for the Wim Hof breathing is that we are oxygenating the system. So as we're inhaling, taking deep breaths inward, we're trying to bring that breath up into the brainstem, and then we take just a relaxed exhale. We're not a forceful exhale, it's just letting go. Letting go the exhale and activating the inhale upward. So we can practice a few of those. So it's an inhale in, and let go. Inhale in, let go. Inhale in, let go. So you can see it gets into a rhythm or a cadence where it's an inhale, go. Inhale, relax. Inhale, relax. And ideally you want to do about 40 breaths. 40 breaths is a nice number to get to. And then you have retention holds if you like to. So when you do your inhale, you hold it in on that last inhale and you hold. And you'll start to feel energy, tension, and sensations move throughout the body. You're pumping that energy up and down, oxygenating the blood, and you hold that tension, you hold that breath, allow your body to pump the oxygen where it needs to, and then you go into your forceful exhale. So after you've done the retention, you exhale and hold. So there's a retention at the end, so forcefully pushing that air outward, keeping the oxygen in, getting the CO2 out, alkalizing the blood, which helps with our cells. Oftentimes, like when we have diseases or disorders, there's too much acidity in the body. So we want to oxygenate, alkaline the bloodstream, get oxygenation to the brain. And the more you can really work to pump that breath upward, expanding, 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 practicing that every day, you'll start to feel how your body supports itself, and we get out of this closing down, depressed posture, which is often what happens, when we don't work on these, and especially in modern day society. Our thoracic spine becomes too curved, our neck juts out in front of us, and it puts a lot of tension on our internal organs, closes the blood flow there, and it puts a lot of pressure on our sympathetic nervous system, our fight or flight, our kidneys, our adrenals get overused, and so we don't want to fall into those patterns throughout our life. We want to learn how we can pull ourselves out of it, empower ourselves, empower our heart space, our solar plexus, and also get muscularly strong, learn how to support our skeleton, and become more aware as we age. And so I hope those were helpful. Just a little taste, a few pieces from different aspects that I practice. And if you have any questions or like to conversate through the Facebook Live, feel free. And I hope you enjoy. Take care.